Hello, I'm Elena. Do you ever lie in bed at night next to your partner and feel a million miles away? You can hear them breathing, you can feel the warmth from their body, but the emotional connection, it's just not there. The days have blended into a routine of work, chores, and logistics. You're a great team when it comes to managing the household, but somewhere along the way, you stopped being partners in intimacy and became roommates. If this sounds familiar, I want you to take a deep breath. Pausa. You are not alone. This is one of the most common and painful phases in long-term relationships. But what if I told you that this roommate phase, while difficult, is not a death sentence for your love? In fact, it can be a doorway to a much deeper, more conscious connection than you had before. The secret isn't about grand romantic gestures or expensive vacations. It's about understanding why this happens and taking small intentional steps every single day to find your way back. In this guide, I will walk you through that exact process. Understanding why this happens, the unwatered garden. First, let's get rid of the blame. This situation is rarely one person's fault. Imagine your relationship is a garden. When you first planted it, you were both excited. You watered it every day, you tended to the soil, you pulled out the weeds. It was beautiful and vibrant, but then life happened. The demands of a career, the arrival of children, financial stress, caring for aging parents. These are like droughts. Slowly, without even noticing, you both stopped tending to the garden as diligently. It doesn't mean you wanted the garden to wither, it just means your energy was pulled elsewhere. The roommate phase is that unwatered garden. The roots are still there, but the leaves have turned brown. Our job isn't to rip it all out and start over. Our job is to start watering it again, together. So, the first step is a mindset shift. This is not your fault or their fault. It is a shared problem that you can solve as a team. The first step back, breaking the touch barrier with micro connections. When emotional intimacy fades, physical intimacy is often the first thing to go, not just sex, but the small, everyday points of contact. So our first action is to re-establish that physical baseline in a non-threatening, gentle way. I want you to introduce 2 simple habits. First, the 6-second kiss. A quick peck on the lips is a habit. It's a logistical checkpoint. A kiss that lasts for a full 6 seconds is a moment of connection. It's long enough for your brain to release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It forces you to pause and be present with each other. Make it a rule. Before you leave for work and when you see each other at the end of the day, a 6-second kiss. Second is non-sexual touch. When was the last time you held hands while watching TV, or put your hand on their back as you walked past them in the kitchen, or gave them a real 2-armed hug for no reason at all? Aim for at least 3 of these small connecting touches every day. It feels strange at first, but it sends a powerful subconscious message. I see you. We are connected. Changing the conversation from logistics to emotion. Now let's work on the conversations. Many of the couples I advise realize that 99% of their communication is purely logistical. To change this, we need to ask better questions. Here is a specific technique. Every evening, set aside just 10 minutes without phones or TV. Ask this exact question. Tell me about your day. What was one thing that made you feel good and one thing that was challenging? This is profoundly different from, how was your day? Which usually gets a one-word answer. This structure prompts them to reflect on their emotional state. And when they speak, your only job is to listen. Don't offer solutions. Don't judge. Just listen. Ask follow-up questions like, how did that feel? Or, what was that like for you? You are rebuilding emotional intimacy by showing that their inner world matters to you. Another powerful tool is expressing appreciation. Instead of a generic thanks, be specific. Don't say, thanks for making dinner. Say, it meant so much to me that you cooked dinner tonight. I had a really exhausting day, and coming home to that felt like such an act of love. Specificity shows you are paying attention. It validates their effort and makes them feel seen. Reintroducing novelty and play, escaping the rut. Routine is the silent killer of romance. Our brains are wired to thrive on novelty. Shared new experiences are the fastest way to bring back that feeling of excitement you had at the beginning. This doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Make a list of things you've never done together. It could be taking a pottery class, going to a free concert in the park, trying a new recipe together, visiting a new neighborhood, or even just playing a board game. The key is that it must be new and it must be shared. When you learn something new or explore a new place together, you create new memories. You see a different side of your partner. You break out of the roles of co-manager of the household and remember the fun, interesting person you fell in love with. Schedule one novelty date every 2 weeks. Put it on the calendar and protect that time fiercely. It's an investment in your garden. Now it is crucial that I pause here for a moment. Pausa. Everything I have shared is for couples where the foundation of respect and safety is still intact. If the emotional distance in your relationship is accompanied by contempt, constant criticism, control, or any form of emotional or physical abuse, these tips are not the solution. That is not a roommate phase. That is a dangerous environment. Your safety is the absolute priority. If you feel unsafe or consistently devalued, please seek individual help from a qualified therapist or a domestic violence support service. You deserve to be safe and respected. Finding your way back from the roommate zone is not an overnight process. It's a journey of 1,000 small steps. It's the 6-second kiss. It's the specific appreciation. It's the novelty date on a Tuesday night. It's about choosing, day after day, to turn towards your partner instead of away. To water the garden even when you're tired. The love you have is likely not gone. It is simply buried. And with patience, empathy, and consistent effort, you can uncover it again and find a connection that is stronger and more resilient than ever before. You can do this. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this guide was helpful, please click the like button and subscribe for more advice on building stronger, happier relationships. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one small step you will take this week to reconnect with your partner? Sharing your journey can inspire so many others. I'm Elena, and I wish you well.